Welcome back to Style of Play Football with myself, Theo. As always, thank you very much for coming back to the channel. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and let me know your thoughts in the comments as well about what we're going to discuss. Now, there's only one thing we're discussing today: highs and lows. I had to check my heart rate this morning, see if it came back down. But we got to talk about England. We got to talk about Slovakia and both sides of the coin. And that's what we're going to do in today's video. We're going to talk about both sides of the coin because let's be real, none of us as England fans should be happy with last night's performance. No one should be happy with that performance. Are we happy we're through to the quarterfinals? Of course, 100%. I don't think there's anyone that isn't happy that we're through to the quarterfinals. But when you look at the game and reflect, which is what I like to do. I never like to do videos straight away. I never like to just come out and do a video. I always like to sit down, reflect the next day, rewatch certain parts of the game without the emotion attached to it like there was last night. And that game stunk. The game stunk up the place from start to end, even with them goals from Bellingham and Kane. Even with them goals, the game still stunk. The game stunk. 0 shots on target until that goal went in by Jude Bellingham. We're going to get onto his goal in a bit. But Gareth Southgate, you're watching the game live and direct in Germany. Millions and millions and millions of fans across the world who support England were screaming last night, halftime, 60 minutes in, 65 minutes in, 70 minutes in, substitutions. And just because of the injury to Trippier, it forced you to make the sub. Honestly, like I know it looks good now because quarterfinals is there, Switzerland Saturday. But had that not happened the way it happened last night and we went out that tournament, Southgate would have been the most terrorist of England managers we would have ever had in our lifetime. I'm telling you, because when you've got that disposal of a bench that you can use and you're not using it and you're not bringing off certain players, you know, now players like Mainu, who's been booked early in the game, Guehi, who's been booked early in the game, you're not thinking about taking him off. And I'm not saying you should take off Mainu. I thought he was brilliant. Guehi's been arguably England's best player out of the tournament so far. But when you're on those you're running those risks of being sent off, you need a goal. You don't change nothing at halftime. You don't think about Cole Palmer, Anthony Gordon. You don't think about Ivan Toney. You need a goal. You don't think about Trent with the deliveries and everything he can do going forward. You don't think about any of that and you leave the team as is. Everyone was screaming subs yesterday and not one substitute came on. Slovakia played amazing football. We have to give them credit as well. We have to give them credit because they played amazing football. The problem with Slovakia, the longer the game went on, you knew they were going to burn out of energy, and they pressed from the start. They were brilliant with the ball. They didn't have much of it, you know, in terms of the possession to start off with. They knew they weren't going to get it. But the one thing that Slovakia done really well was when they did have the ball, they advanced so quickly with it on the counter-attack. And you could just see as soon as they got the ball, their first instinct is, right, how can we get this ball from the back line of the defense straight to our forwards in quick succession? And they done it, and really well. And that's how they got their goal. Really poor defending from Carl Walker. Carl Walker had a stinker of a game yesterday. And it goes back to what we said on the podcast last week. Carl Walker, brilliant in terms of his recovery, his runs, his pace, is brilliant. But actually defending, understanding where you need to be on the pitch, understanding what side of the attacker you need to be on, it's 0. It was 0 yesterday. It's been poor throughout. And the fact that we're still having to have this debate about whether Trent should be there or Carl Walker, I think last night proved Trent may not be the better defender, but going forward, he's offering you a lot more than Carl Walker. 100% more. I don't understand how Gareth Southgate is being paid however much money to manage this England team, probably one of the best England teams we've seen in so many years, in so many tournaments, and you're getting it wrong game after game after game. We haven't even seen progression in this team so far, this tournament. Last night, Georgia 1-0 up against Spain. Spain dominated the game after that. 4-1. They came out the result 4-1. Lamine Yamal, Williams, Rodri, all stepped up. Every single one of them stepped up for Spain last night. You see England, 1-0 down, last kick of the game, everyone's thinking we're out. And deservedly so as well, because when you look back on that game, I know all the emotions were there yesterday, but if you go back now today and watch that game again, we shouldn't even be in the quarterfinals. I'm so happy we're there, but we should not be in the quarterfinals. Because the game set up tactically is poor. Game after game, it's the same stuff. Declan Rice, I get it. People are saying he's not had a good tournament, but when you've had Trent next to you, then you've had Conor Gallagher, then you've got Kobe Mainoo. There's 3 different players that he's played with in midfield already. There's no cohesion. There's no build-up of partnership in the midfield. I'm used to all this. I support Chelsea. I'm used to all this nonsense, messing around, unorganized chaos in the midfield, in the defense, in the attack. I'm used to it after the last 2 seasons at Chelsea. But seeing it now in this other team, it's brilliance from certain players. Cole Palmer comes on, changes the game. Ivan Toney comes on. I nearly kicked over the TV. I'm not going to lie, the TV nearly went flying when I see Ivan Toney come on. Because Ivan Toney should have been on 20 minutes before he was actually on. I think he came on the 92nd, 93rd minute of the game. He should have been on at the 60th minute. You need a goal. You need 2 goals. Bring on your goal scorers. Bring on someone that you know is going to get you a goal. Shifting Saka to left back. You got Joe Gomez sat on the bench. It's criminal. Whatever Southgate does after this, I pray to God he doesn't end up in the Premier League, because he won't last. I don't know if it's stubbornness, whether it's just he wants to prove people wrong, that his way is the right way, or whatever, but it's wrong. Millions and millions of people can see the issues that England have. That left side is horrid, horrible left side. Because Trippier cuts in. He ain't got no one to pass the ball to. Foden drifting into midfield, into the 10. Saka, how Palmer's not getting a game ahead of Bukayo Saka is criminal, because Saka, a brilliant player for Arsenal, had a really good season. But this is tournament football. You lose, you go home. If you're not playing well, a prime example, Yamal for Spain is 16. He turned 17 the day before the final of the Euros. And he's in the team. That's a big and bold statement from the manager to put him in the team and trust him to do the job. Southgate has to trust Gordon. He has to trust Palmer. Now he's got a massive dilemma at the back, because where he misses the quarterfinals game against Switzerland. So you have to put Ezri Konsa in there or Lewis Dunk. You have to put one of the two in. And let's be honest, Guehi's been the best defender. He's been the best defender that we've had in the team. He's replaced Harry Maguire's come and he's done the job that was needed of him. And he looks a breath of fresh air. Cole Palmer, breath of fresh air. Now the goals, listen. One thing I will say about Jude Bellingham, because I'm still on the fence with Jude, I'm going to be honest. Has he got qualities? 100%. But we can't lie like he wasn't stinking up the place as well yesterday. And the game before that. So that 1 minute of brilliance, 1 second of brilliance with the overhead kick, amazing. He does that. That's what he does. He turns up when he needs to. And I rate that. But you should be doing that throughout the game as well. You should be doing that from the game kicks off minute 1 to minute 96 and playing like that. Not little glimmers of hope and brilliance in a game. That's really good that he does that. But I want to see that more in the game. Brilliant goal. We'll talk about that goal for years to come. But it shouldn't take till the last kick of the game for us to be going through against Slovakia. Ivan Toney came on and disrupted Slovakia's defense easily. He was a nightmare for them coming on. He comes on, second goal, heads the ball back in towards Harry Kane. Harry Kane, who just before then, if you remember, missed a sitter, a diving header before that as well, comes in, gets the second goal just before the game kicks off again for the second half of extra time. It shouldn't take for that, because when you play against Switzerland, who battered Italy the day before, when you play against them, they're not going to be Slovakia. They're not going to be Serbia. They're going to be up for the game. They're going to be up for the game. And if Southgate does what he does and he's been doing and plays the same team minus Guehi and brings in Konza, he's in for a rude awakening. And so we're all in for a rude awakening. You might have to change it now. You might have to go to a back three. You might have to put Cole Palmer and Gordon in that team and drop Phil Foden. You might have to. Or you might have to put Bellingham in the 10 and keep him there. Or drop Bellingham. I don't know. But you got to make bold choices, Southgate. You got to put out the team that's going to win you the game and put you into the semi-finals. Because all this defensively, sitting back, even when it was 2-1, we still invited pressure. We were still inviting the pressure. We would camp back in our own half, allowing Slovakia. If Slovakia was Switzerland or a better team, and you're 2-1 up in extra time, we would have gone out on penalties last night. We would have gone out on pens, because I'm telling you from now, you can't have that group of players and play so defensively and only register 2 shots on target throughout the game. It just doesn't make sense to me. And then when you change things and you bring on, just put Saka at right wing back and Eze comes on the other side, attacking wise, we're different. We're actually playing football and we're going forward with the ball and we're advancing into the right areas of the pitch. It just shows you that everything we're talking about, bearing in mind, we're just fans. We're just fans that sit at home or go to the game and watch it. We're not the manager, but we can see what needs to be done with the team and how the man that is in charge of the team and the coaching staff, Steve Clark, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, all of these people around him can't see what all of us are wrong. All of us are wrong. We're all saying the same thing. Other pundits are saying the same thing. I'm listening to radio calling shows. Everyone's saying the same thing. We're all wrong. Nah, man, I can't have that. I can't have that. I can't have that. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Southgate has to get it right on Saturday. If he gets it wrong, listen, I said last night, he thought 1996 Euros, when he got all that abuse after that, was crazy. He better hope and pray that he better lose his passport before he gets back on that plane. I'm telling you, because the fans this time round will not be as lenient as they were 2018 against Iceland, the Croatia semi-final, the Italy final. This group of players has to step up, and the players have to take more responsibility for how they're playing as well. It's not all just on Southgate. Pickford steps up. He steps up for England. He done it last night. He's going to do it again. Cole Palmer, he wants the ball. He's going to do something with the ball. Harry Kane has to step up. Declan Rice has to step up. Whoever plays alongside John Stones has to step up now. Has to step up now. Because this is knockout football. This ain't, I'll lose the game and we get another chance. No, you're going home. So you have to step up and play like you want to win the tournament. Not running around and do nothing for 90 minutes and you score a moment of brilliance. That ain't going to work every round. Because Switzerland look on it. Switzerland look on it. And if you go 1-0 down, you got to have something in you to go out and still win that game like Spain did last night. Because they didn't sit back and start panicking and start looking at each other. They carried on playing the same style of football that they've been playing throughout the tournament. That passing, quick passing, moving it around, making and creating their chances. And then the game ends up 4-1. Because Georgia were no pushovers. They were still trying to work things out and make their things happen as well. So they actually tried to win that game as well. But when you've got a group of players like England, you have to play to the strengths of the players. It's as simple as that. I'm not even a manager and I can tell you that. Crazy from Southgate. Crazy from Southgate. He's got to get it right. He's got to get it right or stay in Germany, don't get on the plane, don't come home, leave your passport somewhere, lose that passport, do not come back. Because I'm telling you from now, if he comes back and we don't win that tournament now, listen, you better catch a flight somewhere else and not come back here, because the way that this country is right now, everyone's on high alert for something mad to happen. The election's around the corner. Loads of things are happening. Southgate, lose the passport if you don't get the tournament done and dusted. That's all I'm going to say. I'm done with talking about England for today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Can we go all the way? That's what I want to know. Are we going to go all the way and win the tournament? Are we going to crash out? If we play like we played last night, we played the lineup that we played like last night, I'm not confident at all. But let me know what you think. Don't forget to like the video as well, and also the audio version of the podcast. And also, before I go, we're going to be doing a club by club preview of the new season for the Premier League that's coming up over the next couple of weeks as well. So if you're an Arsenal fan to a West Ham fan, you're going to be able to hear about some insights of your team, and hopefully get some guests on as well to talk about their clubs, their perspective, what the club should be doing for each of the clubs in the Premier League. So stick around for them in the next couple of weeks as well. And of course, we'll have the International Euro podcast as well for the remainder of the tournament. So stay tuned for all of them. Until then, enjoy the rest of the week. I'll be back soon. Love, I'm out.